Is Kyle Rittenhouse innocent by reason of self-defense, or is he guilty of murder, manslaughter, etc.? Well, the honest to God truth is the jury's going to have to be the ones to make that decision. I did listen to the deliberation. I did listen to the story, and I do think he has a very strong case for self-defense. OK, at the end of the day, that is my stance. If you look at the video, just from the videos alone, Kyle has a case for self-defense, and I believe his actions were reasonable in terms of the actual shooting. OK, now, do I agree with the way that he went about putting himself in that situation? No, I don't. I don't agree with that. I think there was a lot of things that were done that were very controversial and kind of like, not necessarily the smartest decision to make. But nonetheless, the shooting of the individuals that were shot, I can see self-defense in each of those instances. But what I really want to talk about in this case, and really what we're seeing, and it would be great if all Americans, if all young American men were treated so kindly by a judge as we have seen Mr. Rittenhouse. Okay, I have never in my life seen a case of this magnitude where a young man is treated so favorably by a judge. And what I mean by a young man, I'm talking about the person on trial for murder. I have never seen a judge be so kind to such an individual. And, you guys, if I say it's white privilege, you guys are going to say I'm race baiting or whatever the hell else you want to say. But really, I want you guys to just answer this question, like, honestly. Do you really, in your mind, do you honestly believe that if a young black or brown man was on trial for the same charges in the exact same circumstances, do you really believe such an individual would have been treated so kindly by that same judge? And that's a real question, because for a very long time, African Americans, we have been saying for a long time that the criminal justice system is very biased and it just treats black people different. Like there's just a completely different experience that African American people and a lot of times, just non-white people in general experience when dealing with the legal system, when dealing with legal figures, when dealing with the police, when dealing with individuals of authority. And people will always say, well, it's the way that you act. It's the way that you do this. It's the way. The question that I said was, given the exact same circumstances, do you think a young black male would have been treated so kindly by that judge? And as fair as I was in saying that Kyle Rittenhouse has a case for self-defense, that's fair. That's unbiased. That's just me looking at the truth. My same unbiased opinion, I don't have to be black to understand that the answer it's not just no, it's hell no. Okay, if I'm just being honest, I cannot even fathom a young black male in that same circumstance being treated that way by the judge. It probably would have been the exact opposite. The judge would have been trying to get this young black man convicted, if anything. OK, if I had to take it one way or the other, he's going to be his friend or he's going to be his foe. He's going to be his foe. OK, we just hope that he be neutral. But in this instance, the judge was very kind to Kyle. And if every young American male or every American were treated as such in a court of law, maybe we would have a better system. Maybe we'd have a worse system. I don't know. But what I do know is that I have witnessed several times over my life, and I'm witnessing now, a case of clear bias in favor of this, in favor of someone who is white, aka white privilege, young white male privilege. OK, particularly when it comes to instances of violence. And so this is what we're seeing. I mean, it was a similar situation with the Capitol riots. I mean, do you really think if all of those people who stormed, if a mob of black Trump supporters, attacked the Capitol the way that all those white folks did, do you think the outcome would have been the same? Do you think the police would have been instructed to stand down and not shoot and not use lethal force, although they are inside of the Capitol building where there are politicians who handle issues of law and very important people in the United States of America in general? No, there would have been a completely different treatment of those people. And this is why I say, listen, if you're non-black and you're hearing this and you don't believe me, when I say that there's a different reality for non-black people. I think you're kind of like out of touch, and probably maybe you're in that privileged group, perhaps. So it's harder for you to kind of see things from a different perspective because you don't have experience outside of your own shoes. But for myself and for countless other black people who are all saying the same thing, listen, like, do you really think they're all wrong and you're right? Like, a lot of people are saying, listen, this is clearly an issue of white privilege. And hey, maybe you do think that there is some small amount of racial whatever favor that this judge is knowingly or unknowingly bestowing upon this young man. Maybe you do believe that, but maybe you think it's not a big deal. Maybe you think that, hey, maybe you're someone who is somewhat of a, what is the term they used? Manifest destiny believer. You're someone who believes that, yeah, white people should be given preferential treatment in America. And I get kind of sick and tired of hearing people try to logically conclude all of these things and deny the obvious and not be honest with the world around them to say, listen, I just believe that white people should be given preferential treatment. Just say that. If you believe that, hey, this is America, it was whatever by white people, whatever, and white people should be treated better than others. Other people should be, just say it. Don't stop, beating around the bush and just say how you really feel. Because I feel like there's a lot of people out there on social media who will try to logically conclude the reasons why the judge is treating this boy this way, when really the truth is they have the thinking that I just spoke about a few moments ago. And if that's your position, that's your position. I don't hate you for that. I don't think you're evil for that. I think you're just being, excuse my language, I just think you're being fucking honest. And if that's how you feel, then, hey, who is it? Who? I'm not mad at you. You have the right to have that opinion. You know what I'm saying? And, at least it gives the world an opportunity to kind of deal with that, but stop being in denial. Stop lying to people and acting like that's not how you really feel, when we know that there's a fair number of people out there who do feel that way. All right. And it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So that's fair play, fair game. But nonetheless, I do believe Kyle Rittenhouse will be found not guilty. I felt as though he should have been guilty of the crime, which I thought was a crime, but apparently due to I don't know what the term they used for it, but some little legal gotcha, him being outside under the age of 18 with a assault rifle is somehow legal. And it's not legal, but it's not illegal. And yeah, okay, gotcha. But I felt like that should have been the charge that should have stuck with him. Misdemeanor possession of an assault rifle under the age of 18. I don't think that should be legal in those circumstances, and he should have been guilty of a crime for that. But in terms of the shooting, I felt he was, not guilty. Within my heart of hearts, I think that he made a dumbass decision, but making dumbass decisions is not illegal, and it's not punishable by law. Even though his dumbass decisions led up to him doing that and taking those lives, and as much as I disagree with it personally, I think it was a bad decision, and I think it was like a bad decision. I don't think it was illegal the way that he had to defend himself using that level of force. It's just that the possession of that rifle, because the reality is that someone standing somewhere with openly carrying an assault rifle is a provocation to the community around him. So you have to meet the state's requirement to be in that circumstance, to be in open carry possession of a rifle, because you, sir, are the threat. You are the threat to the society around you. Now, maybe your threat is for good or for bad. Maybe the threat could be, hey, you're here to protect people. So you're here to protect the righteous or the law-abiding citizens. So, hey, you're on the side of what's right. And that's fair play. But just because you want to defend people who are living right from criminals doesn't automatically give you the right to be carrying this weapon openly. You still need to meet the state's requirement to be in legal compliance of that weapon. So in other words, it can be a great idea, but it doesn't mean that it's lawful. And I think that in that instance, he should have been charged for the unlawful possession of that weapon. So this is my thoughts on the Kyle Rittenhouse case. he's gonna be found not guilty. And honestly, I really hope this young man basically like can repent and realize the error of his ways, not grow arrogant, not let his heart be filled with pride because he gets off. And I hope he's able to, get his life on track. He's a young man. He just turned 18 years old. You know what I'm saying? I hope he's able to get his life on track and bounce back and recover from all of this the best way he can. But this name will not be forgotten in American law or in American history for quite a while. This case will last. And so, hey, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Like, share, and subscribe. Comment below. Tell me what you guys think about this video and the trial. Till we chat again, it's Urban Politics, and I'm checking out. Go.